Welcome everybody to the April regular meeting. Thank everyone for attending. Everyone signed in, and no public hearing tonight. So first one of the 2026 year. Let's stand for pledge.
Got it.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I wanted to take a quick minute, just go over system like meeting structure stuff. When we get to public assembly and all that, we're going to do 2 to 3 minutes. If one person speaks at a time, that goes for us up here at the town board, and you guys can let me know if you want to respond to something that the assembly brings up. If you've already taken your 2 to 3 minutes, you can speak again after everybody else has spoken. And if it'll be my discretion to let you continue to speak after the 3 minutes, but let's try and keep the 2 to 3 minutes. And I also want to encourage, I read through the 2001 minutes binder and George Hildebrandt's last year, and there's letters all over it for documentation reasons. So anybody that has a concern or a suggestion or anything along those lines, I would encourage you to write a letter or an email to us. That way we can go over it and have some sort of background on it, because I think it's a lot to expect us to know absolutely everything that's going on around here. And then we can find out a way to properly address it versus what I think has happened the last little while here with more of a conversation and debate with when we get to the members of the assembly. So try to work on that. I take some responsibility for not addressing it sooner. Our next regular meeting is May 12th. At 7 p.m. The claims meeting will be held on Monday, May 4th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. Executive session may occur this evening if deemed necessary. We've got some correspondence.
We do. We have a letter here from John Khalil. Dear members of the town board, on behalf of ADK Snowmobile advocates, I'd like to thank the publicly acknowledge everyone involved in making this past snowmobile season a safe and memorable one for all. This would include, in no particular order, the Town of Webb Board, Clerk and Supervisor, the Trails Department, Highway Department, Police Department, Visitors Information Center staff, Old Forge, Eagle Bay and Big Moose Fire, Old Forge Volunteer Ambulance, the Central Adirondack Association, Lime Timber, and all our other landowners, New York State DEC, the snowmobile community, the many local business owners, along with anyone else who worked for the betterment of snowmobiling. Furthermore, thank you to the local community and many residents who endure the influx of winter recreational enthusiasts year after year. The cooperative efforts of everyone working together are greatly appreciated. We have a letter from Hannah Wheaton, the recreation manager. Following the ongoing discussion for future George T. Hildebrand Recreation Center and field rental inquiries, the following determination has been made. All future bookings and inquiries will follow the town's current policies and fee structure that are currently in effect within our rental forms. We ask that all organizations plan and budget accordingly. As we continue to reevaluate our policies and fees, we are working toward restructuring our George T. Hildebrand Recreation Center facilities and fields use procedures. Should a new policy be adopted, all future bookings will be required to follow the policy that is in place at the time the reservation request is made. Thank you for your understanding, Hannah Wheaton. And then we have a letter from Kevin Kress, the Macaulay Mountain manager. Dear Herkimer County Legislator, on behalf of the town of Webb, we would like to express our sincere gratitude for the funding that allowed us to purchase the Sun Skid conveyor from Macaulay Mountain Ski Area. The lift was installed this past summer and saw its first winter season this year. The lift, named the Mighty Might Express, is a moving carpet that conveys learning skiers and snowboarders easily up our Mighty Might beginner hill. We saw a great response from the public. So far this year, we have seen approximately 40% increase in Mighty Might Express beginner area lift tickets alone. Undeniably, we have had a great snow season, but the increase of tickets to this lift versus the rope tow from last year is significant. Our ski school has also recognized the benefits of the new lift to our beginner area. Manager and ski instructor Britta Hennessy reports the addition of the Sun Skid carpet has been a game changer. It has made the learning experience on Mighty Mite smoother, safer, and more accessible to people of all ages learning to ski and snowboard. We are so grateful for this big addition to our little hill. Macaulay Mountain recognizes that introducing new skiers and snowboarders to the sport is necessary for the future of our industry. We also realize how important our winter season is to the town of Webb residents and businesses. We are confident that with the continued support of the town of Webb and the gracious support of the Herkimer County, Macaulay Mountain will continue to grow as a four-season recreational destination. Sincerely, Kevin Kress, Macaulay Mountain Manager. We have a thank you from Haska for the $30,000 donation that the town of Webb contributed to them. And we have a thank you from View for the $8,000 that the town donated to them.
Thanks, Don.
Yep.
Okay. 2004 trailer as surplus. Highway Department, motion to declare a 2004 Eager Beaver trailer as surplus.
Make the motion.
Ben, second.
I'll second.
Kyle. Discussion on that.
I
You
mean,
gotta look at it, right? He
yeah,
does.
I don't know if you got to look at
I
it
got
or
a phone
not,
call on it.
but it was in some rough shape, and Casey had to make the tough decision. He was planning on replacing the skid steer that he has, so he put that off for a year in order to get a new trailer. I have to give hats off to Casey. He's always on top of his equipment, and this one, I mean, he had it for 22 years. 22 years of seeing salt and other stuff up here. It does a lot to equipment, so it's a shame we couldn't get the skid steer, but next year we'll get the skid steer, and this year we'll get the new trailer, get them all up and running again.
Pretty rough shape. So,
Yeah.
so I guess roll call vote. Anybody else? Mike, you got anything on it?
Nope, I went up and looked at it. It's
You needed a new one.
Councilman Hannah?
Aye.
Councilman Lindsay?
Aye.
Councilman Ross?
aye.
Supervisor Greco?
Aye.
4 ayes.
Okay.
I will say one other quick thing.
You missed
it wasn't.
It was under board discussion.
No, but I was just thinking. We did discuss also, he's gonna try and sell it, but it is in pretty bad shape. Hopefully somebody will wanna get it and rebuild it or take parts off it, but worst case, he might have to, just scrap it, Just
Yeah,
get rid
He's
of it.
gonna put it on Auctions International.
Right,
Right, to begin.
right. There's some good parts, but that's about it.
Yeah. And we're not, where's Kelly hiding today? Yeah, we're not taking any money we don't, instead of getting a new skid steer like Kyle mentioned, Bobcat.
Yeah, he came over and
We're
we.
gonna put it toward the new trailer instead,
Yeah.
And
right?
then I think he actually ended up going with a different trailer and saved even a little bit more money.
Right, a
Yeah.
little smaller one.
Didn't need one this size, so.
Okay, sorry about that.
Don't be sorry. Local law number 3, our zoning update. A motion to remove introduction draft 1 on bottom of zoning update.
I'll make a motion that we do that.
Mike.
That was kind of a glitch, huh?
Second?
I'll second.
Kyle. So, our new zoning update, we've got to get it out. We've got to get it to the planning board. We want to get it on the website, get the books made, all that stuff. And the bottom of the first 80 pages says introduction to draft 1. I guess that's how we adopted it or something. So we called the lawyer today and they said we got to do this to pull that off of there. So that's what we're doing.
Jay and his crew found that
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. Jade, and we had the option to leave it there, but code enforcer said, nah.
Better off moving it.
Yeah, we'll get that.
It was almost another month.
Yes.
Councilman Hannah?
Aye.
Councilman Lindsay?
Aye.
Councilman Ross?
Aye.
Supervisor Greco?
All right.
4 ayes.
Okay, that moves. The TSI snow compactor, a motion to transfer the TSI snow compactor that does not fit the trail maintenance needs for the town of Webb to the inlet trail maintenance. I would like to make a motion on
I'll
that.
make the motion.
Kyle, second.
I'll second it.
Discussion on that.
Yeah, I guess Chip said that they can use it up there, so.
Yeah. Jeff's had it up for sale, just a piece of equipment for the snowmobile trails. I think he had it up for $500 or something like that, and we just didn't get any hits on it. So, Chip mentioned he could use it up in Inlet, so we're sending it up to them. Roll call vote.
Councilman Hannah?
Aye.
Councilman Lindsay?
Aye.
Councilman Ross?
Aye.
Supervisor Greco?
Aye.
4 ayes.
Next, authorization to establish Community Foundations Fund. Authorization to establish a nonprofit agency fund with the Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida Counties to support the Old Forge Sewer District. Would anyone like to make a motion on this?
I'll make a motion on that.
Kyle? Second?
I'll second.
Ben?
Can you explain what?
Discussion on this.
Yes.
This is something I've been waving in the air since I went down to the Community Foundation and met with Nick Grimmer. And also we reached out we had a meeting with Adirondack Community Foundation, Callie Brooks, just the introductions of where we're at as a whole, both different times. And to stay specific to this one, this will allow us to accept funds and money from donors, things of that nature, so that we can put it right into the Old Forge Sewer District. That's why it's specific to the Old Forge Sewer District. There's also a grant program Mohawk Valley Gives. Having this type of fund set up already kind of puts you ahead of the game. And that Mohawk Valley Gives registration begins at the end of April. So I thought it would be a great thing for us to set up a fund specific to Old Forge Sewer District. It kind of helps with that whole Webb tax base. Old Forge Sewer District doesn't have any money thing, so now this may help us. We hope to do well with that Mohawk Valley Gives if we so choose. This is no authorization to apply for that yet, but we hope to do that. And then it is $10,000 to start. We have the money from the sewer district to start that out. It's our money. We're not paying them that, but there is a $500 annual fee. So we put $10,000 in there. I think the way that Nick explained how they work with it, working with the community foundation, there's a lot of good to come from it, and we really don't know what we could get from it. We could get $10,000 off the bat. We could get 50. Who knows? There's a lot of people that are aware of our sewer issues, and there's probably some people that may want to help.
Yeah.
Any little bit that helps.
Yeah.
So 2 questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
One is, so if somebody wants to donate, it goes to this organization,
Yes.
and then how do we have to put $10,000 in that pot?
We can take.
So
So
I wonder
like,
if we need it.
if we get to the point where we need it, we just call them up and we take it. It's like a savings account basically that people can fill. So it's our money. So if we get to the end of the year with budget time because we're so tight in the sewer district, and something pops up, we had to spend 10 grand on a valve or something that's a broken pipe, whatever have you, and okay, and we just pull that money out.
Okay, because that was my concern, is I know that we keep talking, we don't have money in the sewer district.
I'm not going to make any guarantees that we're going to get everything fixed, solved from it, but it may help with a rolling account. And that $500 annual fee is for the community foundation to manage that.
So they get that. We pay them that just for
And
managing.
the Herkimer Oneida County Community Foundation has been responsible for a lot of funding in Webb recently, as you guys are familiar.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be great, and it might get rid of that whole grants cost money mindset. It might help with that a little bit. This is not necessarily a grant. It's not a grant.
Well, you never know.
And then the Adirondack Community Foundation one down the road that I'd like to bring in, that one would be set up for like Webb and municipal matters, like across the board. It would be Webb based. This one is specific to the sewer district because I think we've made it clear where we stand.
Are we committed for some
Priorities.
No. And this is just to, in the application, get it over to them and get started.
And when do we have to put $10,000 in it?
Probably when we hand the application in, I guess. We'll see when they respond with it. But again, we could pull it out the next day. It's not like
Okay.
Yeah, it's been, brought it up, it would just help us a lot. But we could table, the only reason that I want to do this now is because that Mohawk Valley Gives is we
Right
think we
around
can
the
do
corner.
pretty well with that.
Okay.
Brought it up a couple of meetings, but anyhow, roll call vote, you guys.
Councilman Hannah?
Aye.
Councilman Lindsay?
Aye.
Councilman Ross?
Aye.
Supervisor Greco?
Aye.
4 ayes.
Okay, next is, attorney agreement. Motion to authorize the supervisor to execute the attorney agreement with Miller, Mannix, Schachner, and Hafner. Get a motion for that.
I'll make the motion.
Ben?
I'll second.
Kyle?
Yep.
Discussion on this is, after, finding some representation for labor and union and, our general municipal law firm that we used over the last few years discovered we didn't really have an ongoing agreement. We didn't have an active agreement with them. So this is just, we're obviously working with them regularly, so it's just updating our agreement. Does have any questions on that? Or?
Nope.
Councilman Hannah?
Aye.
Councilman Lindsay?
Aye.
Councilman Ross?
Aye.
Supervisor Greco?
Aye.
4 ayes.
Okay, next is a motion to authorize supervisor to sign the contract with BCA for the 3 points of concern for 293,000. It's 500. Pending contract revisions provided by BCA earlier today. Corey Reed at BCA will be able to update the contract, hopefully by the end of the week, but if not next week.
But you met all the needs that were, right.
I go. What's the pleasure of the board on that? Can I take a motion on it?
I'll make
I'll make the motion.
Ben?
I'll second it.
Mike, second. Where is this second? Yeah,
To
so,
sign. It was to sign. You were making the motion to sign, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was making the motion to sign.
oh, I got that here somewhere.
That was a lot of reading.
Yeah, it's a pretty hefty contract.
Twice.
A lot of
Went there
that.
twice.
Yeah, and just fishing through it. I talked with Corey on the phone. Ben was on for that, and that was today because he was able to respond to some questions I had. Some of them were the loss of the design, the work, the licensing, and all that jazz. Another one was just funds floating out in the air. Like we just kind of wanted to be made aware. Town board would be authorized to extend that out. Some deadline stuff, 90-day pay periods, and he's going to make those revisions. Once he does, we can sign this. So instead of waiting until May to sign it, that's why we put the pending the contract revisions that are in there. So this allows us to, every step we've taken since I think 2019 was the beginning of the authorization for the study, and then the study was done in 2021. It seems to me, at least my time on the board, has been held back by not having a plan. So this allows us to have a plan to get started and then not deal with that overwhelming burden of doing the whole thing.
It took a little while to figure out the funding. Moving forward with it. That was the main deal.
Yeah. A lot of credit to everybody working on that. We've had a lot of help from all over the place on the. We think this is going. We don't see this resulting in sewer tax folks having their taxes increase. We've got bonds. We've got an active grant right now. Who knows what will happen with this fund we just set up? And I think the 2 worst case scenario, Kyle brings them up often. We're all thinking the same thing. Yeah, and they're major. One end it's catastrophic failure. We don't have any money to repair it. The other end is catastrophic finances. I guess major amounts of money that we don't have. So this will start the process on that. I feel comfortable signing it, I just I'll throw that out there.
I think when we first started talking about it too, we were hoping to get bigger grants to conquer more of the problems, and now we've kind of dwindled it down to certain sections to keep poking at, you know.
I think we're gonna
That
get that
makes
WIA.
sense.
I think this plan started is gonna allow us to get that WIA grant from EFC. That we've been so close, I just wanna make that clear, that, you know, previous, administration, put our time on the board, we're right there with that WIA grant that's been out there for us. We actually got one back in, we're awarded one back in 23, but we didn't get it last year,
Right.
so.
Let's hope.
And this is just a small part of it for anyone else out there.
Okay, Councilman Hannah,
Aye.
Councilman Lindsay,
Aye.
Councilman Ross,
Aye.
Supervisor Greco.
Aye.
4 ayes.
Motion to waive the 30-day waiting period for Nathaniel Larea of the Floating Pine Boat Tours in Eagle Bay for a liquor license. Would anyone like to make a motion on that?
Well, typically, we do that just so that they can kind of keep moving on their time frame, because getting a liquor license is, could take forever. I'll make a motion that we do it.
Second?
I don't see a reason.
I'll second it.
Ben? Yeah, I think Mike just covered it. Anybody else have anything on that?
No.
Councilman Hannah,
Aye.
Councilman Lindsay,
Aye.
Councilman Ross,
Aye.
Supervisor Greco.
Aye.
4 ayes.
Okay, before we get into, you know, what everyone's got here, the leases, policies, things of that nature, we're finding out are a lot, some of them are, need some reworking. We're dealing with it. We let off with one referencing the rec center fees, Holly Mountain concessions. There's building leases that are expired and things along those lines. So we are just actively working towards these. Some of them, we think are ready to go to the lawyer for review. One of those is the rec center, specific to the recreation center, not the whole, area down there. And then the other one is, Ben, if you wanna talk on that, some Macaulay Mountain year-round food and bev concessions.
Yeah, so Judy and I had good meetings with Kevin and Chris to move forward with having a year-round concession up in Macaulay. I do want to thank Judy; she put the most work into it. She did a very good job, thorough job, and you know, it was working on it all day. She was rattling off text messages to Kevin, Chris, and myself, asking questions and moving it right along. And I think it's it's only going to be a 1-year lease to start out with. I think it's a good starting point. You know, there's going to be a lot to learn this year with it, but only move forward.
Thanks, Ben. Appreciate
Yeah.
that. So that Macaulay lease is just in that time period, and the rec center one is gonna go to the lawyer, and the lawyer can review it, so they're not,
There's
not
also,
adopted yet, there's no advertisement, there's none of that.
Yeah, and also we're gonna try to run a bike shop up there and keep the shop going up there in the summer with the mountain biking and everything. Also with their frisbee golf, tie that into it. So get more year-round use out of it than just a scenic chairlift.
We got a motivated Macaulay Mountain manager,
Yeah.
very thorough, energized office manager up there. Kevin and Chris are just doing a fantastic, all the employees.
And a good crew that supports them in both directions.
But this isn't a motion or anything like that. I just want to make sure you guys, and if you have anything to add, there's still plenty of time. Kyle, Mike, I haven't really, I've like looked through them, read them, but I might reread the latest draft. And there's still time to update, like to let the lawyer know, and then
Yeah, we
hope
still-
to put this, adopt the rec center one. And then we hope to advertise for services for the Macaulay concessions at the May meeting. So this is not a motion for anything more than just hand over the lawyer and let him do his thing.
So we won't really, if that goes like you would like, we won't really have a time to discuss as a board on this Unless it's the first one in May. The audit in May.
Yeah, it'd probably be the audit of May. Audit claims in May to have a little bit of discussion, but it'd be nice to get it off to the lawyer and see what he says about it, and then, you know. I think it's gonna be, you know, we're gonna be working with it all year, try to figure it out, because it's gonna be the first time doing it. So what's gonna work best for us, Macaulay, and the concessionaire, so there's gonna be a lot to learn and figure
Well,
out.
mainly we gotta make sure that we get somebody in there for the winter, right?
Yeah, well, this is mainly to be year round.
I realize that,
Yeah.
It's a good point. Whatever we
Yeah.
do here, you know, there's licenses, there's health permits, there's all sorts of things, so. There was some talk, there
Yeah,
was some talk of like trying to get somebody in there in the spring, summer, but I think you gotta give these folks, whoever's out there bidding ample time to set up for the most important part that they may be new at, which is, you know, the ski season.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how I would do it.
yeah, ski season and also the fall,
Right, yeah.
so. See.
And I guess to follow that, if you guys don't have any more on that.
Well, I
Nothing's,
definitely have stuff on the.
well, I'll wait till Ben goes, you wanna go now? You wanna start, you can.
No, I'll wait.
You want us to wait?
Go ahead, Ben.
Alrighty, well, Kevin and Chris wanted to give me some numbers, to read off for the ticket sales at Macaulay. So our overall ticket sales up there was 11,553 tickets sold. Up from last year was 8,501. Seasons passes reached 1,036, up from last year at 843, growth of 193 seasons passes. We already spoke about the Mighty Mite usage being up with the new Sun Kid carpet. The youth program, school programs, 15 groups visited this season at a total of 463 tickets, up from last year at only 6 groups. And they want to thank Kyle at the school for promoting his connections with other schools. It's great seeing those schools back up there and using that facility. They offered half-day option this year, which was good, and that sold 1,623 half-day tickets. So that's good. And they did the return of the reciprocal tickets with neighboring pass holders from different mountains, and they sold 214 of those. So it's pretty good.
Nice.
Yep. So I got, other than a lot of work with the sewer district stuff for the last month, and
Yeah, thanks.
we had a good meeting over Snowmobile, and I'll let Mike talk about that a little bit.
Kyle, do you wanna?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last Thursday.
Yeah.
Last Thursday, Tom and I and Hannah met with Tioga Construction, John Callahan from the Black River Hudson River Water Authority, and the other gentleman's name I can't remember. From Michael from the Northern Forest Canoe Trail. Just went over a couple of things. Tioga Construction, as everyone has noticed, has already set up barriers in the area of the Pied Piper parking lot. Those barriers are going to be moved a little bit within the coming weeks to allow for additional parking for everybody. The way it was set up for the winter was to make room for the groomer to get by to make that turn. But after looking at it, after all the snow is gone, everyone feels we can move those down to gain a few spots, get the garbage trucks through, any tractor trailers for Pied Piper deliveries through. So there's going to be a little rework as to their laydown area zone. Construction will be beginning another month, I'd say. They are still July 4th. Just as the fireworks go off, that's when we start.
There we go.
So there will be some interruption to things, but they assured us that they're going to keep the interruption to a minimum as best they can. Also, walking the work zone, we have deemed that part of the beach is probably it will be closed off. At our gates over here, we have to maintain the gates for emergency vehicle access to the beach. But if you're looking at the water, to the left of the gates that open, we're gonna put up a buffer zone for them to have a work area, and keep everyone out. There will be times where cranes will be coming in and out, floating barges might be put in. That's their start point for this phase. Phase 1 is gonna be on this side of the dam. The canoe launch is gonna be moved temporarily for now. We have talked briefly about a long-term solution, but we have to see where we get with that. This is all just in the beginning phase, but as far as construction goes, the canoe launch, we have talked about with both the Northern Forest Canoe, and Tioga and the Black River, Hudson River Water Authority. We are thinking about moving it down to the corner of the lakefront, on that sandy beach area that the town does own. Makes it a little bit easier, accessible. It's kind of out of the way a little bit. So signs will be posted, that's the new launch area, or the temporary launch area for this time period. Other than that, they assured us, and I have to believe them because they're the guys that get paid the big bucks, there will be no effect to the water level for the lakes during construction. The dam, they will have the water level set like it is every summer, and there will be no fluctuation to it. It will not go up, it will not go down, it will stay right where it normally is for the summer months. So I'm excited to see this project get underway. Hopefully they stay within their timeline that they talk of, but coming from a construction background,
Good luck.
here we go. 2 summers, couple falls, couple winters. We'll see how we go.
Hopefully it gives us some time to plan some funding for the docks over there.
Yes.
for the boardwalk.
Yes, we will
That needs to
be,
be replaced.
yeah.
It's in rough
So
shape.
the standing agreement that we have with the Black River Water Authority, the DEC, and New York State is, those are their docks, but we have usage of them. Call it a living will, if you will, on those. So they put them in initially, we maintain. So at this point with construction, the docks on the Pied Piper side, we are losing 50 feet from the dam back of dock space. And that part of the dock will not be replaced. There will be rocks in there, stone in there. It'll be a buffer zone.
Because of the dam too.
Because of the dam too, because the dam is moving further in. After that's all said and done though, through talks over the past couple of years, this project, the way it was done, is after all the construction's done, they are granting us finger docks to be floated out off of that dock system for us to use. They will, in a user agreement.
I think they become donated us because they don't want liability on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They will be
I'll check
donated.
on that, but that's how he said it. We're put the docks out to replace what we took care of.
Yep.
And then they're yours and we don't want any.
Right.
That's how, but I'll confirm that.
Yep. So they'll become our care somewhat like the docks are now. So we'll have to maintain those and take those out and just take care of them season to season. As far as boat parking goes during this project, we lose boat parking there up to a certain point. And that's just the way it is. I think when we passed the boat parking law, I had stated that then when the construction happens, it is what it is. We lose the parking during that time period. I'm not looking to change it, cause a whole commotion. It is what it is. We lose some boat parking for 2 seasons. But in the end goal, we've all seen the pictures. It's going to be a beautiful looking dam. That's all I got.
And to go off of that, we didn't have any choice for the Northern Forest canoe trail to move it from where it's at. It cannot be right here, and actually it cannot go back here.
Right.
So just make sure that what we're doing now is temporary, but it can't return to where it's been for.
Yeah. So Sorry, yes,
Oh, I'm just- louder.
where the launch is now, that's actually gonna be part of the new dam system. And they're looking to put the canoe launch at the end of the piers, where that sandy out bump is.
Over there though.
At the end of construction, they wanted to
well,
there, unless we come up with an agreement to move it there, which they had said during the meeting that I think it would go through. We just have to start talking to people to get
See how
funding
it
for that
goes.
over
I
there.
talked about it last year's. That's a pretty good, easy spot over there to do something nice, gradual. Especially for older people wanting to get in canoes and kayaks, then to walk from what they showed in those pictures, to walk from the parking lot all the way to the end, carrying a canoe and stuff. It'd be nice if they could
Typically no parking over
drive
there.
right to it.
Yeah.
So drop it off and
Initially, Kyle, remember they wanted to put the temporary launch down towards water's edge and those little beaches over there, but then we're pulling parking from Pied Piper. So now because of this, it's state land, it's not Pied's, and then we're gonna send more parking over there in the meantime. So we kind of talked them out of
Yeah.
not having people walk that far from over there and then going over here to start, which it would be nice if it did move into that. It's at the tail end of our lakefront, and then we could designate a couple parking spots, but we don't have to decide any of that now. The signs.
Yeah,
they're
the
gonna
signs will
moving
be
these
moved.
sign-
Yeah, I think they'll be moving the signs. I think we just asked for our guys to help reinstall them, and they're gonna be put in down at that end of the lakefront.
One of them might not make the trip.
One of them will not make the trip. There's three signs. Yeah, there's three signs there now. Two look like they're really in good condition, and there's one that's completely sun faded that I remember as a kid coming up here. So I don't exactly know how long it's been here, but that sign's not going to make the trip down to the other side of the lakefront. That sign's going bye bye.
And they have an office. They're gonna have an office in town. This is Tioga, next to where Cabin Fever Realty used to be, right next to Tony Harper's on Main Street. So they are putting themselves out there. John Callahan from the Hudson River Black River Regulating District is really seen. He was so helpful for Hannah's concerns on the beach. I really feel like they're going to do the best they can, but I also want to be clear. This is kind of like a prerequisite, I guess, whatever you want to call it, preview of this kind of work. It's got to get done. We've got a short season for stuff like this to get done, and it's going to move into what we'll probably see when we get into this sewer project over the next few years. Like, town's going to be a little beat up, but hopefully it sets us up for the future. So we'll do the best we can
If I'm
to.
not mistaken, they're doing the Six Lake Dam,
Simultaneously, yes.
so they're gonna be busy.
So that's all I got.
That's all you got? Okay. Well, I have a whole bunch of stuff, so I guess I'll start with, I don't know, Hannah, if you want to help me out with this, you wanna start the process of this and speak a little bit, and then I'll move in. Hannah's our rec director, she's here, and we've had quite a conversation, Judy Lonergan, myself, and her are the committee for this, rec center fees, and if she wants to start off.
You want to start with the lease, or you want to start right at the top of our form?
Yeah. That with form, yes.
Okay, so,
I think that is both.
so I put together a proposal for the board. It's basically a token scavenger hunt. Concept kind of came from Syracuse area. I'm looking to do a spring into adventure townwide scavenger hunt. I'll hide a token within town property on the Facebook page for the recreation department. I'll do riddles, basically hinting at where the token is, encouraging people to get out, go explore, find the token. If you find it, come to my office. I'll have prizes you can select from. I'm aiming at May 16th and 17th. If the token is found on the 16th, then I'll hide it again on the 17th. If it is not found on the 16th, there will be additional riddles shared throughout the day, as well as on the 17th, hoping that someone can find it. Any questions on that? It's just something fun, something different.
I like that.
I'll be posting riddles on the Facebook page. The actual token will be in person at the hidden spot. So for an example, one of the riddles could be where laughter and cheer is heard all year round. Childhood memories are made and proud parents watched our athletes play. You may find this token where the countdown for fun is set.
Oh, the Tillmore.
So one person at a time.
So the answer would be at the recreation fields at the bottom of one of the scoreboards. So something fun. Unfortunately, I don't think maybe we could try, I don't know. Participation from everyone, it's open to all ages, groups, sizes, all the above. Anything from the board on that, like the launch it?
I think
it's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a really cool idea.
Kid-oriented stuff and all the events you've been a part of and the things you brought to the table, it just sounds like another one, so another great addition.
Perfect. Everyone follow the Facebook page so you can get the riddles. And then next we have, I'd like to alter our swim lesson structures to 30-minute private swim lessons. That way it's more beneficial to the participants as well as we can kind of schedule and accommodate easier to the swimmer. We're gonna be looking at offering 16 private swim lessons once a week for 5 weeks. We are gonna have kind of a clause where if you are a no-show for the first one, you get a warning. Second no-show, the rest of your lessons are gonna be canceled. That we hold people accountable because we do bring in our lifeguards early in the private swim lessons. If we do find that we have too many people signing up, then we'll do small group lessons. But I'm looking to alter our structure to one-on-one base private swim lessons.
Makes sense to me. If the group size is dwindling, it makes more sense to give those kids the opportunities that want to do it, that one-on-one time, rather than waiting around to see if we have a group to do it.
Yeah.
The other part is having the lifeguards there for
Yeah.
folks not showing up a bunch. That's why she's got the thing in there about you have 3 strikes and you're out, or 2 strikes and you're out. It's 2.
One warning, second strike.
That's it. I like it. So yeah, because the lifeguards are going to be there when they're not during their regularly scheduled hours. So they're coming in to do these swim lessons, these free swim lessons. So it would be nice to at least be courteous of that service, right? If not,
Coming in early, 7 days a week, all the above. So
Yeah.
just looking out for the staff on that.
yeah, sounds good. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You guys, I mean,
And then spring cleanup, we have started our seasonal spring cleanup for our playgrounds, courts, fields, and the beach. Due to recent weather and our rain, Big Moose Court is gonna require additional drying time before we can get up there to open it for play. We're aiming for early May. Lakefront courts, as you can see, we got the tennis ready, but we're gonna bring out pickleball here shortly. Hopefully after the rain this week, those courts will be open for play. The fields need additional drying time at the moment, and then we can open play there. Once the rain stops, Little League field, I talked to Jeff. We're gonna go and do a deep raking, freshen up the sand and all the above. That way when Little League arrives, it's in the best condition possible for them, and then they'll maintain the field as soon as they take that over. And then looking into field scheduling, I have developed a centralization database for scheduling for this. So this would be for softball, baseball, Little League, for the school and other entities. Basically, it's a link that's gonna be made public so everyone can see where each game is, because in the past, it's kind of confusing where softball is, which Little League game is, where varsity is. That way we can encourage community to come out, cheer on our youth. But also it helps organize where everyone is, as well as field maintenance. And then as Kyle spoke, We did meet with Tioga Construction. The beach will look a little bit different this year. We are going to open as it always has been the last couple of years. And then as soon as Tioga arrives, we will have to most likely alter the beach towards the dam section. We might have to alter some of our chairs and move them and change the float line. We're hopeful that we won't have to do that. Department of Health is working closely with us. They're in support of being on the fly, helping us to make sure that our beach is enjoyable all summer long and is not affected as much as possible. Thank you to Casey. He's gonna give us portable barriers. That way we can have a temporary wall that's portable and doesn't affect any machinery coming in or out or any of the above there. I think that's all I got.
Okay, no, thanks. And, so to continue on with that committee, we put together and for the board to look at and try to do it, this is gonna be a very time-sensitive thing because what was put together in 2011 for prices for the rec center and everything are numbers that we came up with obviously a long time ago for kind of different reasons, different things. So we fixed some of the pricing and I'm really hoping that the board can look at this stuff quick. We would like to get this to the town attorney to have him look at it ASAP so that we can try to do something with this very fast for the upcoming people that wanna rent the building. We did some nonprofit stuff for local people that live here. The prices are definitely different than they were. Quite a bit lower, to be honest. Just trying to help out the community in those, in that aspect. So like I said, I'm encouraging the board to go through this quickly and maybe in May we can get this off. I don't know if the next thing, do we have to get this to the town attorney, like, they can look at it and then.
My thought was to get it to him immediately, so
Right.
simultaneously, if something pops up that we find, we can just ask him to, hey, we caught something.
Right, okay,
You know,
so-
maybe we missed something, he can add it.
So do I need any kind of a motion to say?
Just send it over, no. Just get
Okay,
it over
okay.
and you'll review.
So that, yeah, so anyways, if you guys, Judy has looked at it, she's, part of the committee, so that's happening.
I looked at it. Looks good.
I looked at it
Pretty straightforward.
Cost analysis that Hannah put together is very thorough, and it provided the faith in numbers that these guys worked on, and
Right.
I feel really good about it, and it really clears up the inconsistencies of the recent document we had and the movement to routine use by these organizations and the school and programs, whatever, because before it was just like rent by the day, rent by the weekend. And then it was just pay for whatever heat you use by reading the gauge beforehand and then seeing where it was after and then putting that. So now it's just like a flat number and it seems pretty fair across the board and very, you guys did an awesome job of gearing it towards, you know, town of Webb residents, local folks around here, making it so it can be utilized.
Right. Yeah, we tried. We're also, we also have a small committee that's been looking into some of the ice problems and things like that, but that's coming. So another thing I have is Ben, myself, oh, I got a whole list here. Chip Sauer, who is the acting, trail maintenance person over in Inlet. Dan Levy, who's on the board in Inlet. Patrick Quinn, who also works for the trails, Alexis Bennett, who is our tourism person, Adele Burnett, who is Inlet's tourism person, Andrew Khalil, Mark Mayer, and Jeff Abriel, who was our trail maintenance guy. We all sat down and discussed this winter's, how it went, what changes we might be able to make, some of the goods, some of the bads. We discussed the permit. How do I want to say we have a
Structure.
Yeah, the permit structure, and we have a preseason, which is $80. We have an in-season, full season, which is $100, and we did offer a 7-day, or is it, no,
7-day
during the
pass.
week, so it end up being 5-day. During the week pass that we have talked about eliminating. It just seemed like we looked at the numbers and it just seemed like it was wasn't really needed. I think, what other, Adele, do you have any, we had a weekend?
Yeah, but we're keeping the 7-day, but getting rid of the
Okay, yes.
weekday only.
Okay, yes, okay, thank you.
7-day pass was pushing 20% of our sales. So it's kind of hard to get rid of that 7-day.
Right. And that's a good offer for anybody that just has a week vacation or whatever. But that during the week thing wasn't really worth it. So it was a great, we talked about a lot of stuff. I can't think of anything else, Ben, if there's something.
No, we talked about a joint internet page for snowmobiling. I think we kind of come up with Old Forge snowmobiling in New York, just because we're the hub here, and have it, all the trails and trail maintenance, and the trail conditions of Town of Webb and Town of Inlet all together. So Alexis and Adele would be working on that together, which I think is a great idea.
Right. And
I think you're the one that came up with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And the program that we have now in place, I guess, is kind of not the greatest, so they're talking about redoing that. So hopefully some good improvements for the future.
It was a good meeting, very good meeting.
And I don't know what we need to do to enact, just eliminate that one pass. From this point, tomorrow night Inlet's meeting, I don't know if we
Actually,
say we're
Inlet
okay with it.
already met.
Pardon me?
Inlet already met, because,
Last week.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
it was early Wednesday.
So we just basically have to say we're okay with it, the change.
The snowmobile agreement doesn't have the permit structure in there. So
Yeah.
we have to renew the snowmobile agreement. Maybe at that point, we'll throw it in there between the two towns now. We'll put it in there moving forward.
Yeah, maybe put
Does that
in
make
what
the most sense?
permits are offered with no dollar amounts, right?
Or we'll have to do something to get it resolved or official. Why not just add it to the agreement?
I don't
We can
know.
do that.
Right, because we're just basically eliminating.
Because we're at preseason, and all that stuff will be out there, right?
Yeah, well, we already started selling preseason during
Right,
Snowfest.
right.
Agreement we updated went year to year. But that's fantastic. That list of names and those, you guys all getting together, that's just great stuff between both towns. I mean, it's just gonna be such a huge addition. I heard you mention the website, totally off topic. I don't wanna start a ruckus, but I think websites in general, we can look at figuring out, we've got a Town of Webb recreation.com website, which is really well done. We've got our Old Forge, New York publicity website, which, is really well done. We've got our Town of Webb legal page. You see in other towns, they're all kind of just one. Maybe we can tap into figuring out and direct everybody to it. When you type in the one you're used to for the last 20 years or whatever, it'll forward you to just one website. And then maybe in that, we'll have a connector between the Webb Inlet trail system. Maybe we use Old Forge, New York.
So the idea of this was just to have one landing site because it should be one trail system. It's one joint trail system. So just one place to go to buy the permits, find out trail conditions. So you're not going to look on Old Forge's.
Keep it off of that.
Then look in Inlet's
Yeah.
page, so it's basically just one website that lands on one page where all the information is.
Okay.
Links out to the other pages.
Right, sounds good.
Yeah,
Keep working on that, and let's just figure all that out when it comes.
definitely a good joint deal.
And I didn't acknowledge, Mark Mayer's back here. He was a business owner
Yeah.
that joined us on that also. Going back to the beginning of the meeting, we talked about, or a couple meetings ago, we talked about possibly meeting twice, starting in May. I have to be honest, I won't be at the first Monday meeting in May, but I didn't know if that was something we are still talking about, meeting a couple times to stay organized, or what you're thinking.
I'd like to see us put one of those Monday meetings the day before the Tuesday meeting, so it's not 3 consecutive weeks in case somebody is doing something or going somewhere,
Right.
so you could get those out of the claims, you get another opportunity to chat. It's actually something they did back in the early 2000s.
I'm fine with that.
The former board did.
It doesn't
No, that
have to
way
be
it's like-
forever, just to get together some of these things you've got going on here, it would be nice to be able to keep moving,
We don't have a lot going on, do we?
Sure. So I don't know how you put that in motion, but,
There's always a lot going on.
Let's see what Judy wants to do on that, cause that's gonna affect, her time and stuff, let her have some input on that. and
Okay, yeah.
Maybe we'll actually get something on paper for May to adopt. Going into June, we can do a, first Monday, and then it was second Monday, and first Tuesday.
I got
That
you.
way, if you do go somewhere, you're not around for, it's not.
Okay.
That would be my suggestion.
Yeah.
I just thought it was neat when I heard they used to do that back in the day.
That's fine with me.
Back before the phones and emails and, running into each other and stuff.
It might not hurt with the sewer district stuff coming up as that gets rolling. To do
Pretty
it,
busy.
'cause we'll definitely be busy with that.
We also had a piece of paper here that was from Steve Baker that said stuff about the AEDs. I don't know if you solved that problem, but, it's gonna need to be,
I don't know if you guys are aware of how that assessor we have over there is pretty spectacular, but she threw another hat in the mix to do what Steve's doing, and I said, oh, well, let's make sure we can do it. So what I did was I kinda asked Steve to provide the list of contacts and the list of spots where all these AEDs are, because there is a service that will do it. It includes the product and the new pads and the battery testing and all that stuff, but it's like $3,500 a year or something like that, and I
Saw that.
haven't gotten this far. And Steve and I think we run the same page with as we talk about it. You might have been there for a little bit of that, because this was during the bouncing over there for revale stuff, just hanging out at the Park Ave building. But they're still going to need to have somebody. I mean, whatever the service is, I doubt they're going to come up to Webb and bounce around to every AED site as part of this, like, keeping our stuff up to date. I think they're going to mail us stuff, and I'll find out. I think they're going to mail us what we need. And they're gonna reach out to. I see Rick Shanahan here from Big Bush. He might know something about where the AEDs are up there.
Well, I'm just curious, what service are they offering for $3,500?
Yeah, Steve already does this for us, and he has been
I
for
know,
free.
he's free.
Yeah, but he's retiring.
Well, that's even more free.
So, hey Steve, continue this. I'll be sure to let him know. Actually, speaking of Steve, he's having a little retirement luncheon next Friday.
Yeah, I just saw
Everybody
that.
wants to go to that. But yeah, we are trying to figure out what makes the most sense. I just think it's going to go that way. I think we're still going to have to do a bunch on our end, and we're going to be paying them for it.
well, they gotta be working.
But where I was going with Tina was she offered to.
I worked with Steve for all those years, and basically he would order the supplies, and people that had the AEDs would contact him when they were beeping or needed supplies, or they were used and they needed to be replaced, and he would order them, then he would take them out there when he was going on an inspection that way. So we could sort of work it in with our daily activities. We can just go data collect that area and take those things up there when needed and check on those things. Yeah, see? We can work together. Thank you, Jenny.
Yeah, if they want to work together on it,
You know?
I'm fine with that.
Maybe we'll figure out some stipend stuff during budget time with our employees back
We
there.
can help take over for Steve.
Don't tell Steve though.
We're gonna miss
I mean, no
Yeah,
offense,
hi, Rick.
just get them all on the same schedule.
Yeah,
I mean, why have them all in like different months? Just get them all in like December or January.
we're gonna have to take that up with Steve and see what Steve has in his schedule.
Yeah, we had talked to Steve about that, and it's not as simple as changing it.
But
In what way?
If you use it, you have to.
Well, if you use it, you gotta replace it, but
Right,
9 times out of 10, they're sitting there waiting.
yeah, most of them.
But I mean, if we're on a schedule, okay,
right,
you replace 90% of them and I'd replace them all 1 month. I'd pick January. And every January, replace them all.
we can look into that.
Let
Right, Jay?
Tina and Jay look into it
Yep.
for us. Thank you, guys.
So the other last thing that I had is, I was over, speaking with Tina the other day, and she handed me this piece of paper that I found extremely helpful. And thank you, Tina, for that. I encourage anybody to grab a copy of it. It basically explains if you're in the sewer district, water district,
This
something like
is
that
last
before.
year's tax rate, so if I may, while we're on this subject of taxes, because I have guilt by association. Seek out, that's all right. I think I want you guys. You all know we're doing a reassessment project in the town, and because of that reason, this tax rate is last year's tax rate. Our tax rate will be going down because our total assessed value of the town, that's all I have. Okay, I can get you one, Jamie. So, I also would like to, I have to put my glasses on, please. Apologize for that assessment disclosure notice that went out to everybody. The letter was sent out by Robert Kazard, the project manager for KLW Municipal Inc. The timeline to schedule an informal hearing was difficult to meet. In addition, there was an error which he admitted to in the formula he used for that hypothetical estimate of tax liability, which was a big problem for everybody, and myself included. You saw that number and you went, oh my God, what is going on? So the taxes are determined by the budget set by the county, the town, and the school. Our assessments are used to determine our tax liability. That's where that guilt by association comes in. But the market determines our assessments. So, I'm not picking numbers out of a hat or throwing balls in the air. It's driven by the sales that are occurring in our area. So, that all being said, I would like to let everyone know they can reach out to me to discuss their assessments, your new assessments, if anybody has any questions. Informal changes can be made until April 21st. After that, we can still have a discussion, and if we make a change, it would be a stipulation that would then be reviewed by the Board of Assessment Review. This can happen until grievance day, May 26th. If you prefer to just talk to the Board of Assessment Review, you may file your grievance form in our office from May 1st until May 26th. Grievance forms must be filed on or before grievance day to be accepted. So, and we've hired a temporary board, which they've been trained, and I think everybody's been great, I have to say, everything is great. Everybody is great, so.
You're great.
Well, thank you. So, really, questions, just call.
Do you have anything else?
No,
Thanks, Tina.
Thank you for letting
Thank you, Tina.
take up a moment of your time.
Yeah, right.
no, thanks, Tina.
Beat me to the start. I'll start right off with the reval. I mean, it's we had to hire a firm because it's been over 10 years, so we did. And KLW was the one we hired, and Tina and her office, Leanna, the data collectors beforehand deserve a huge hand on this. They have went over the top on what they've done to complete this project. There was discussions about it not being done in time, all sorts of concerns, stressful times for the work they put in. And I'm like inspired by that office and how much work you guys put in after hours, weekends, I mean, mornings, everything. Leanna was out one day. I went over there and answered phones for just the morning. I couldn't wait to get out of there. No. And I will say, everybody has been great. But I think a part of that is because of how your office addresses folks and talks to folks and makes yourself available. So I really, really appreciate that because
I work for the community at the pleasure of the town board. I'm here for everybody. I'm part of this community too. We have to work together and live together.
yeah,
Support each other.
it's been pretty great to see. So thank you again to that whole office over there. And we're almost there, and it'll be done. And then after this, right, we'll do it every 4 years, and it'll probably be done. It will be done by our office and
Yes.
Your office, and it'll make it a little more smoother and a little more bearable.
And a little less painful for us all.
Yeah. I've got a couple things. Adirondack Community Foundation awarded us $10,000 for the Generous Acts grant for mass communication service to be used among the town staff, department heads, first responders, neighboring communities, and others as determined. It's up to us however we want to do it. It's $10,000, full monies. we had some help applying for that. Linda Wheel was helpful on that, and it was really great. I thought we would get $5,000, and we got 10. The quotes I'm seeing so far are $3,000 a year for 50,000 text messages, and to get 50,000 more text messages is only $750. Lake Placid's on it up there. It's a great resource. It kind of seems like it's a pay-as-you-go thing. Start with our team, start with our people, start with our first responders, and then move that into the general public and make it a service that will really be helpful for people and in all times. It could be as silly as a Merry Christmas or a Happy Holidays, however you want to, do it, or a hey, too much water runoff on the Hollywood Hills area over there in Pawnee and Palisades and what have you. The whole thing will just be a great way for everyone to communicate. Looking forward to figuring out what we want to do with that. We don't have to decide at all at this point. We've got some time to implement it. So thank you again, Adirondack Community Foundation, Linda, for bringing it to our attention, and that was a good start to 2026. Transfer station position is advertised right now up there for a seasonal full-time worker. I think Mike's been a part of the seasonal full-time workforce for a long time with this town. I've been a part of it for my time as a board member. It's nice to see that mold into a year-round full-time. So I would encourage anybody that sees a seasonal full-time position or anything like that, put your hat in the mix. Nothing's guaranteed by any means, but it could work into a year-round position by working for whatever season's not season that year. That's open till we got transfer station hours change here pretty soon, so I think hopefully we get somebody in there and figure that one out. Actually, did you mention that yet? Should we mention? We gotta get to you. I gotta mention the battery stuff. I don't know how we don't talk about it. Senator Walczyk called. His rep Meredith George saw I wasn't even aware of it. Saw an article in the Adirondack Explorer that named Webb a potential spot for one of these battery farms.
That woman's been emailing us there. That's a big advocate.
Violet Martin is her name. She's saying like a moratorium is what a lot of Adirondack communities are doing right now. It doesn't mean you're never going to have it. Doesn't mean this. It just allows you more time to plan for it, so you don't run into an issue with it. But there was another article that I saw like 4 hours ago that I didn't even get to reading that said, I guess is mentioned. For the record, I know nothing about any potential battery farm. You guys do.
I'm not aware of anything.
Of them wanting to put one up here, but
The National Grid at a conference mentioned us storing energy up at the mountain for us to better, save an electric bill with the supply and demand. That was a while ago, it was before I even so. I don't know, how to go about it, but I just want to make it known. It sounds like I said, that office is really concerned, and Senator Walczyk is putting in a bill to leave this type of energy utility upgrade up to the town, to approve.
yeah, he sent us a letter. I think it was dated February 26th. I just read it again today on it.
Yeah. So he's trying to get an actual bill passed that allows the towns to be in charge of that type of, because, as long as you fit planning board, you can come in and start whatever you want, and it's not really up to us. And I don't have an opinion. I want to make that clear too. I haven't researched enough on these things. I just want to make sure that it's known that we're being named as a potential spot.
Yeah, I think the closest fire department to be able to put out those battery fires is 2 hours away. So,
Lithium batteries.
yeah,
Yeah.
inside the Adirondack Park here, I'm a no on it. I don't
Can't put
want
enough water on and put them out.
it.
They just, when they get going, you gotta let them, basically they gotta burn out.
Containment field.
And that's still
It's just-
Kendall.
You can't be near any structures, any kind of farm like this can't be near any structures.
Can't be near the forest.
So I don't know if you want to put it. we can adopt the resolution right now if you want. But that's,
Might as well. Like we've gotten in
I mean,
our.
what are the benefits of having it? battery farm? I mean, for our community.
There's not.
Doesn't,
That's,
these are power charges or,
yeah, I don't have any of those answers. I don't think any of us want to speak to
you know, you
that.
gotta weigh both.
You know, they're talking about supplying power for when the power goes out as far as a source of power, but all of our power is above ground, so it's not going to work. You know, if our power was underground and something happened with, you know, a transformer, then they'd be able to move past it. But their power being underground, it's kind of hard to, you know, wherever they station it, it's not going to get it. And most, you know, a lot of people have generators up here. You know, so.
And on behalf of the National Grid this winter, we had no power failures. I mean,
Right.
really,
Not really, yeah.
I mean, nothing serious.
No.
I mean, I remember years ago, 52 below zero, and the power was off for 7 days. I mean, you know, we don't have that now.
Yeah, I think we should.
All I'm
look
saying
into-
is a moratorium would just delay.
I think we should look into what those other towns put in for moratorium and hand it off to the lawyer to draft up and
Right.
Okay.
work on it our next Tuesday meeting.
Yeah. Sounds good. One better not pop up tomorrow.
Did Long Lake do a moratorium? Because remember
I
Redding
think
had a
so,
ban
yeah.
on it. Did
There's
they?
there's a list of towns that are coming out. One of them, what was that name in that? I don't want to say the wrong name, but one community put it in while they were like, the whole plan, everything was right there, and they like just barely got it in there with the most recent one. So again, I don't know enough about it, but a moratorium would just at least delay the process so we can figure out what's going on, or just simply say it doesn't work here. Yeah. All right, we'll leave that part alone. The CFA survey, the consolidated funds application, as I find out and go through so much paperwork, documentation, emails, the consolidated funds application is something that we can get in July. We've got a great team. We've got some people that can help. We can figure it out. We can put it in front of us. But this will allow for the planning and design and stuff for future projects. Just want to mention that, you know, there's a survey here that I want you guys to go through and take a look at. And, you know, consolidated funds application leads to major funding, major progress, and also small projects that just get you enough for like a lakefront revitalization program. You know, if we wanted to add anything to Macaulay, the chairlift, or if we get into streetscapes and lighting and things like that, it's nothing more than taking all the stuff you have that you think would be great. We could go over this. Some examples on here are the pressing challenges we have: limited and insufficient infrastructure, lack of year-round economic activity, seasonal economy, workforce gaps, aging population needs. Might be nice for our aging population needs. I know we had the Sharp Center, senior center on our minds the past few years. Housing availability, access and transportation limitations, tourism management growth, environmental constraints. You just put this out there. You figure out what you want to do, and you
We talked
get money for
about
planning.
talked about doing something about that a year and a half ago, but all the sewer district stuff and other things, and just kind of got put in the way back.
Yeah. So if you get a CFA in, and you know you have 6 or 7 different things, 4 or 5, however we want to go about it. Maybe one of them is major upgrade to Main Street. Maybe we fall into certain grants and whatnot and then we're like, holy cow, we got one. And we now we have the money first, right? Right now we're having issues with not having the money for certain things. So then you get the money, then you dive into it. So I'll get you guys the survey, but I think if when we get into May, that's kind of the proper time for us to say yes, we would like to apply for one this year, and then our name is in the mix. Mm-hmm. So just keep that in mind if you would. Don Hale too. I got now that the BCA contract, we'll get that over to him, figured out, signed, got the bond information, all the stuff with that. I want to see what he can do. I had a meeting with John Pizak, just a follow up. There's talk of you know, getting some help from down that way, Herkimer County IDA or the county, whatever Don Hale can do for the sewer. So, I kinda wanna get him some more information on what we may need, where we stand, kind of that same report stuff that we've been working on. Yeah, I mean, that's, I think that we should, I'm sad Christy left. I talked with Kate Lewis from the Historical Society over there, and they're doing a little something, a little collage for 250th year anniversary. Ben's mentioned it I think sometime last year. I don't know what we're doing.
We should definitely plan a little bit more with.
If you guys are okay with it, we can, if you got anything, bring it to the table. Be glad to listen to it. Here's what time is of the essence for any sort of planning. I don't know, maybe we get another band or something, or I don't know. We'll figure out. Maybe we get some sort of I don't know, anything.
I can see
come up
Ace
with some
planning on
ideas.
something, but I don't
Something
know.
over at July 4th. What do we usually have there? I usually I'm too
Military
busy. I
band
can't
and
even get down
fireworks,
there.
you've already got.
Yeah, right.
Judy's mentioned some stuff she talked to her.
There you
She's
go.
good at it.
I haven't
Yeah,
been
it's
to
probably
fireworks
gonna
at
do
Lakefront
something.
since
Yeah.
delivered pizzas up there. So, yeah, put that, spread the word, talk it up.
We gotta do something.
Yeah, talk to friends and family, all that. These grants, we got active grants, Northern Borders Regional Commission, that we've got to work with our sewer. We've had EFC grants, with the WIA, EPA, New York Parks Recreation, Historic Preservation. They all have all these things in there that follow procurement and whatnot. And I'm working with Brian. One of their lawyers, Mary, got back to us today, and I'm gonna take what she has, that 5-page procurement, and try and get that to somebody. Mike and I talked about this briefly earlier. To try and get somebody else to look at that to make sure that we have everything covered. It's very clear. There is a lot to grants. There's a lot to closing them out. I got another one today. It's actually they brought Corey Reed on. It's a new one after we've kind of addressed and closed on ones from last year that were open and weren't done. You have to provide all this paperwork. You got to do Build America, Buy America Act stuff. American Iron and Steel. You got to show how you did stuff. Minority Women Business Enterprise. All these things we've gone through. I know you guys have heard me say it. But I think it will protect. Dawn is our procurement officer as the town clerk, and I'm in here as the supervisor. And it's I'd like to see us set up better for the future. We have to follow this stuff in order to be able to acquire these grants. But there's a lot to closing these grants out.
Well, you were gonna try to get a hold of somebody that could tell you what you actually, in that procurement policy, because it sounded like the one lady said something that you didn't need, but do we need it or not? Because it's so important.
Lawyer's got a basic procurement policy, and it's kind of one of those, we're just trying to add in there the things that we may need so we can attach departments and all that stuff. So we're following procurement, purchasing,
Right.
and we're on the stuff where we'll go into that. I gotta bring up Big Moose White Metal Day. Something they used to have on the third Saturday in July. I think it's been recently moved. We haven't done it in a while. There's some folks up there in Big Moose that have been reaching out. I've asked them to, hey, what are you guys into? And the main one is Big Moose White Metal Day, where we bring a dumpster up there, I think, to the end of Higby Road. And we have it manned for a minute, and all their big white metals and stuff. They bring it over, and yeah, Rick, have you experienced the Big Moose White Metal Day before?
No, I think the Waldheim killed that years ago.
Yeah, too much
white metal.
Too much white metal in Big Moose. Yeah, so there's some people that maybe I don't know, maybe we can have some more force up there but I'll run it by Scott and see what he wants to do. I'd just like to, it's a small ask, I think.
Yeah, run it back into his department.
Yeah,
See when you can do it.
I mentioned it to him. Let's see.
Probably have to have a backhoe up there with it so you can
Mhm.
not have to lift everything in there.
A lot of the thing is, you know, if we do have those days down here where if they're coming through all those roads and, you know, some of their vehicles, or then they're flopping off the back of trucks, and it was a nice thing to have, I guess, once upon a time. So. Housing committee stuff. We've got some folks have reached out. I'm not ready to, you know, I want to be able to have Judy be here for that, to appoint or do whatever with the housing committee, but. If I see Barb sitting here, Barb's one of the letters of interest we got. Some other great folks in town, Don Simons, Trey Skinner, I think, sent one recently. Real estate, Heather Tim, I think.
Yep.
So this is nothing, the housing thing is, I just want to make very clear, there's a lot of stuff out there, there's a lot of stuff I'm learning on from going to a lot of these conferences, a lot of things that'll fit the needs of our community. I know housing's been tough to address, you know, going on 3+ years now, or since we, the last proposal that was up that just didn't fit our needs and wasn't really done the right way. I want to see us address it, because I think we got to get there, you know. I think we got to work towards that, figuring something out. There's deed restricted programs. This doesn't necessarily mean public in town, meaning we're going to go buy land and give people houses. I just want to make that clear. It's that there's things that we can do as a town to offer up people that maybe do have that ability, maybe do have land, maybe do want to develop. Maybe they could get some sort of deed restricted programs and some tax breaks that they may be able to offer, so we can get some young families here, because that seems to be the going rate. And these programs are working elsewhere. They're in place in the Adirondack Park. And that's like, you know, for us, with how much we love this town, how much we want to protect it, I think that's a great thing to go off of for us here.
A lot of tourist towns around America are doing things like that.
Yeah.
I'm looking.
So that housing
Maybe in the
committee.
zoning review update.
Yeah.
That new chapter.
Don't you hope you never have to say that again?
On top of that, the master plan review. I know I mentioned this a couple of times. I talked about this Monday. We have a planning board, and we have a planning board president, planning board members, and we have a master plan in 2019. And I just want to see us as a board, town board, go through the master plan, you know, take a look at it, make some notes, review it. And the planning board, I think, is on that as we speak. There is money budgeted for a master plan, you know, starting point. It's 10 grand. So we haven't really, you know, gone into anything or hired somebody or done anything like that at the moment, obviously. So I would encourage the public too. I mean, anybody, pick up a copy of the master plan and review it, take a look. We're not at the stage of, hey, let's go do all, you know, let's put a roller coaster at the lakefront, and like that. We're not at that part yet. Let's
We're doing slides.
Water slides. Yeah.
Do you have a link online? Yes.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
one online
Yeah.
for it.
And then where's mine? Go here. So yeah, it's 2019. That's what it looks like. There's some great names in here. The folks that worked on it back in those days. There's like 19 people that worked on it back then. So this is not a time to talk about the master plan committee, because I mean, we can talk about it, but that's the next step. Right. Master plan review. Everybody review it. What have we accomplished? What have we upgraded?
Oh yeah, you'll find a lot of things that have been done, and
Yeah.
new ideas. It's been a while.
Yeah, I don't think we need to redo the whole thing, but just go case by case of things that we've done.
Right.
Just update a little.
You know, Ron was on the master plan committee back then, Ron Smith, and he brought up amending it. And that's something I've seen with all these unit management plans, the DEC and stuff. The same type of thing, master plan, management plan, they just keep amending it.
Right.
So I think that's the way to go versus spending, I mean, I still don't get it. It's like 80 grand to make a book.
It should be just amendments done
Yes.
regularly.
Yes.
That's the intent,
Right.
so. It's easier to do it that
I
way.
mind, gather some notes, put it,
Not kidding.
especially now.
Yeah.
Um,
If you're the attorney, it sounds great.
yeah, right. There's some water runoff concerns that have been sent around. I'll tell you what, we're in the middle of the Adirondack Mountains and it happens. We are addressing all of them. I'm mentioning them to Casey. These guys are doing the same. We get the letters in our office and we share them with them. And we had a lot of snow and we had some runoff and there's a lot more buildings and areas and less trees, and I think it's the result of what's happening at the moment. Hopefully it's just a spring thing and we're okay, but anyone else that has anything that may need to address it, I encourage you to reach out. I think Casey's doing a great job of getting to those.
No, this thaw and last thaw were the two issues that we're dealing with, but years prior, I talked to Casey the other day about it, and years past it was not an issue, but now we've gotten those winters back a little bit, and like you said, the clearing of the land and more buildings where they weren't, it's an issue. But we can't change the direction of water either. That's the hard part.
Goes downhill.
Right. As much as we try.
We got same stuff. The Ramona Point thing. They were back in. Tom representing their group up there. You can reach out to the lawyer's office and see where they're at with it.
Yeah, that is extremely frustrating that it's been this long.
Jay Williams is here. He's dealt with that. I was up there last year. I'm sure you guys have been up there, but basically it's just a easement that has now led to a dock being on the end of that easement for the surrounding property owners. And I don't think it's supposed to be there.
No.
And it just continues to stay there. So we did make a motion to move forward with that with the lawyer.
You sure did.
Last year. So I don't know, Jay, do you have anything to add on that? It's just been, you haven't gotten anything from your office since?
No, I'm still in contact with Tom Dixon regularly. He's asking me about updates and I really just don't have any new information for him. Every time I talk to the town attorney, I hear, we'll get it to you. And this July will be a year from when you.
It is July.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so. Maybe we'll reach out again. The procurement, like the other stuff we're working on, we're getting some responses. Brian does say they're busy and they're down a couple lawyers and stuff. But I'd like to give them another shot at steering us in the direction of taking care of it, I guess. So we'll do that. If not, BSK is, we can hire them for this specific thing, however it works. So we'll get an email out. Don, say, hey, where you at with this? And see if we can get an update.
Yeah, we're gonna keep
Yeah, Beaver River, quickly, it's plan mode, CFA thing, I think would help with that. There's, between talking to the governor's office, the DEC, the DOT, even some neighbors that have been a part of it, they've been great to speak to. Lime Timber, Wood Lake Group, whether they're for it or not, they don't want to state because there's no plan. So I hope to do some walk-in here and figure out what's going on, figure out how we can do it. But when that barge service ends, it's going to be way more of an issue. I've actually had some great conversations with Adirondack Railroad about they're offering about like maybe there's temporary solutions they can offer. So everybody understands the issue very much. And I know you sat with us that one day, and I know you've been a part of this for years and years and years. But I don't think it can go any further without having literally more. I've got a piece of paper that I write on and talk about. Maybe like an actual plan and how we can get it done, finances and stuff like that. So we'll keep working on that.
I'll have to admit that last meeting wasn't very encouraging. I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
Simply said.
Go ahead.
Question on this, is this a road or a trail or a access route?
Where I'm at, I get it.
Because what I'm asking is the barge, they actually take over fuel oil trucks and propane trucks, and they've taken over highway department equipment. Is this
our code
trail
office,
or-
our assessors, I mean, it's a lot. So that's why the rail trail, the rail trail extension comes up, but the rail trail wouldn't help. You can't put motorized vehicles on it, or, the vehicles can't go
Well,
on.
that's what I'm saying, is this road
This
gonna be
is
big
a-
enough to put a truck over?
One of the ideas I have, Lime Timber has the Big Moose Conservation Easement tract that they just came up with in 2024. Right to the whole thing, it's literally Lime Timber's property, and we got all these motorized vehicles and Jeep trails back in the day, and all these snowmobiles are allowed back there, and we can do these trails. There's loggers, all that stuff. My hope was that potentially Lime Timber would allow us to take a snowmobile trail back there. Dan Levy's on this too, and get us to state land on the less restricted side, which is the Independence River Wild Forest. Hey, that side, if we can come up with a way to seasonally do restricted access, meaning they can shut the gate on this in November, hunting season. If the road, like right now, you're not driving back there, you shut the gate, what have you, and it's like a revocable permit like we have with the DC, or a lease like we have a Lime Timber. That'll allow us to get back there and not affect Woods Lake Group. And then we run the battle of an amendment from the Constitution for going through the Independence River Wild Forest, which has been done. And the Independence River Wild Forest does have, they do the land trade. They're aware of this issue. Everybody's aware of it. So it would be a 3-season restricted access. There's no year-round
So like
plowing.
people living in Beaver River are not gonna be able to drive in there with their cars or motor vehicles for access into Beaver River?
No.
So
This
I
is
just want
first
everybody to
respond.
understand what this is going to be.
First responder, emergency service, utility, operational use.
So you still have the
There
problem
might-
if they do away with the barge of getting propane trucks or.
The residents
fuel
of
oil
Beaver
trucks.
River, with it being gated and restricted, the residents of Beaver River will be able to access their property if the conditions were right, or depending on the time of the year when it comes to hunting camps and whatnot. But even if that happens and Lime Timber signs up for that and they're all about it, you still got to get through the state. That's why Mike is saying the meeting wasn't very encouraging, because
I'd probably be dust by then.
Mike, no. Yes.
Why wouldn't they just sell the business like any other, say it's a ferry business, sell the ferry business?
It's pretty tough to operate a business up here.
Well, I'm not.
I'm not sure there's going to be too many people running a barge service, and I would wonder. There's some stuff in place, some permits and things like that. From a supervisor standpoint, I don't know how crazy I am about sending over a dump truck and a backhoe and all that stuff. Our assessor's office, our codes office, our data collectors.
Well, we're okay with that now.
What's that?
I mean, that's how it happens now, though.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's an issue. Yeah, I'd like to see it, not happen. Yeah, and I don't know if the barge service will move to.
Right.
They might be one of those grandfathered things, Yeah, Steve.
Just a sort of a simple question. Have the people of Beaver River been told what they want, or is it just the one entity because they want to shut the barge down?
It's not the Thompson. Look, the Thompson family. I know this is a long-standing thing, and everybody, but the Thompson family they're residents of Beaver River, and every agency we've talked to, this is about Webb and access to a hamlet in our community. That's where my focus is right now. There's 174 parcels there. There's 133 camps there. Restaurants are opening and shutting down all over the place right now, and this is not to be done so that they can have a business there.
No, but what I mean is the residents that have property up there, have they been asked what they want for as far as access for people to get to them?
There hasn't been like a public hearing or a survey or anything
That's
like
where
that.
I'm going with this, because, you
A
know,
long time ago there was, and there's people, I'll be honest, there's people out there that don't want it.
yeah, and that's where I'm going with
They
this.
want to be off the grid.
Yeah,
Well, they knew what they were buying when they
Sure.
got back there.
Oh, most of them. do, yeah.
You'll hear that when, if the topic ever comes to the fruition of it's that close, I'm sure those people.
Well, I just don't, you're talking
Same
about
thing
this
with
road, I just don't want everybody to think that this is gonna be a two-lane highway
Oh,
No.
going in,
No.
and people are gonna be able to drive back and forth into Beaver River, because that's not gonna happen. I just don't ever see a two-lane highway ever being built back into Beaver River.
It's a
On state
hamlet.
land.
It's a hamlet in the town of Webb that the access is very much being questioned and in crisis really. You know, what happens when the barge doesn't run? You can't, the DC's not gonna let more and more boats and trailers park on that launch right now that's already overcrowded. And then where are they gonna park on the other side? We just did our revocable permits over there for the Grassy Point docks and whatnot, and there's no, you can't do it. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep working on it. I just wanna bring that up. I know it's an interesting one. No money's being spent. There's I learned how to read one time. So, Mike, poor Mike though, is the one he got. Mike's been on this for a long time.
There's a lot of history with me on that. I mean, back 40 years ago,
Police apparently want to agree or disagree or something.
No, when the railroad wasn't operating, everybody was said, hey, let's pull them tracks out, and we got a snowmobile trail. I was a snowmobiler. Oh, perfect, that would be great. Time went on, we talked to the state, we talked to people, oh no, the tracks are staying in. Okay, fine, I like trains, that's fine. Can we go alongside the tracks? If you've ever gone up the tracks and looked, a zillion years ago, they built that railroad with equipment that was nothing like we have nowadays. So it can be done. But if you go up through there, it'd be very difficult to put a road alongside the tracks.
It is, and also, we've worked the last 3 years trying to get our high rail replaced. And and we're going through scenic railway, DEC, and
The plan to go alongside the right of way of the railroad is just not
happening. It can't.
Well, from my understanding, that's what failed originally, back when Wally was alive. There was a lot of wetlands that they couldn't really do anything with.
Same.
Things might have changed now, I don't know, like depending on who you talk to. But, I mean, there needs to be something. There really does. I mean, there's people out there.
I just hate to see a place, it's a hamlet in a town of Webb. And I sit up here with our board and it's not really in me to be like, oh, well, figure it out.
There's a lot of places in the town of Webb that don't have roads to them that are cross water. Just like that. I think our 2 to 3 minutes is up.
Yeah, assembly, let's go.
Done.
We're done.
So, View would like to reserve the use of Point Park on Saturday, August 1st, between 9 and 4 for their 17th annual ice cream social and pottery sale. So, I just need a nod from the board that that's okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Why don't you go first?
Well, you didn't let me.
No, I mean like first from now on.
Oh.
Switch that up and
I just want to let everybody know that there's a rabies clinic on May 7th from 5 to 6:30 at the library. They are asking for a $5 donation. The transfer station hours are going to change starting
May 4th, wasn't it?
May 4th, yeah. Oh yeah, transfer station May 4th through October 11th. So they'll be open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 8 to 12. Saturday and Sunday, 8 to 12, 1 to 4. So closed on Wednesday. That's all I got.
Thanks, Don.
Okay. You're gonna see that.
Yeah, I will mention that. July 4th holiday, we'd like to talk about the agenda. We'll be taking on July 3rd this year for the legal holidays. The 4th is on a Saturday. And the day after Christmas will be taken on Christmas Eve instead of the day after Christmas. I'm taking on Christmas Eve this year for all employees except the CSCA. Oh, I forgot to mention that.
So this the third Sunday?
No, July 4th is a Saturday. So so they take it on July 3rd, Friday.
They're taking the day off before the holiday versus after the holiday just because it falls on.
Yeah.
That's it. Get the 3rd off and 4th. Bonus. And then Christmas Eve is usually they get the day after Christmas. So the day after Christmas is
2 to 3 minutes.
Saturday.
Let's go to our assembly.
Well, Mike's got some questions.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
No, I didn't have any questions.
Or you're just checking.
You just looking to make sure that the 3rd comes before the 4th.
I'm just looking at things.
The 3rd definitely comes before.
Jamie, you want to start?
Sure.
Go for it.
Okay, I'll make it as short and simple as I can. I do want to recognize we had a firefighter that was very seriously injured. Leo DiFingenzi, who was taking off our rescue sleds and rescue toboggans off from the trailer down at Smith Marine to be stored. The sled got away from him, he went off from the trailer, hit the back of the rescue truck, went flying over the handlebars and ended up with fractured ribs, fractured hip, fractured arm, fractured shoulder blade. He had 2 surgeries. He's now at St. Luke's Rehabilitation Center getting 3 hours of rehabilitation every day. He's in good spirits, and he's in pretty good shape for a guy that's 85 years old. You never know he was 85.
No. He's a tough man.
He's a tough guy, and he's in good spirits, and he's doing his therapy, and he actually likes the food. And he's doing as well as can be expected. So our thoughts and our prayers are all with you. Our tanker is done, and we'll be picking that up and bringing that back. That has been repaired. The high railer is now have all the running gear on it, and it is going back to get the final lights put on for the emergency lights, and then we'll get it lettered, and then it should be in service. So that should be done within the next couple of months. I'd like to recognize Dawn. She's our fire school chairman and our bingo chairman. She's got her summer plans. Her plans are all made for the summer. She'll be working on that. Of course, we're all going to show up to work bingo too. So that's all I got.
Thanks.
Yep.
Anybody else? Julie?
Dr. Kaminsky, MBHS Health Center. Just want to do a quick update on our ultrasound service that we were able to get up and running April 7th was our first day. We have ultrasound service 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They schedule from 7 a.m. to 5 o'clock. Last ultrasound is between 4 and 5 to be done by 5. It's been great so far. We've had, the ultrasound technician that MBHS hired is a Old Forge resident, and she's very happy not to be commuting into Rome now. She's thrilled to be working here. Everybody that's come through has been extremely grateful. They don't have to drive an hour to get an ultrasound test. Anybody with a legitimate physician order can have an ultrasound at our center. You don't have to be an MBHS patient. You don't have to get an order through us. It has to be scheduled through central scheduling. We are able to schedule in our office for more of an emergent ultrasound. But it's a great service to have. And I just want to emphasize also that it's in addition to lab and x-ray, which we've had for years, and all of those services are available to anybody, MBHS, or you don't have to be an MBHS patient, basically. Also want to reiterate, we do take walk-ins. We see patients that are not primary care patients of MBHS, and in the summer we see up to 400 walk-ins in addition to our primary care patients. Last year, we started with extended hours, 2 days a week and Saturday mornings. They do plan to do that again, which will extend our hours on Monday from 4 to 7, and either Thursday or Friday till 4 to 7, and Saturday morning until noon. We have to find providers for Thursday. We can find providers that want to come up here on Friday and work and then stay over and hang out in Old Forge for the weekend, but technically a Monday, Thursday, Saturday would be a better, just better, I think, for us to get the numbers in. That will basically, if we can get providers for Friday and not Thursday, we'll work with that. But 2 days a week plus Saturday. That starts the week after Memorial, the weekend.
Okay.
And I just want to thank again the organizations that allowed us to purchase the ultrasound machine, the Community Health and Wellness Fund, the town board, Living ADK, and we are the only primary care center with MBHS that has an ultrasound, so it's pretty cool.
Right.
And if anybody has any questions, they can ask me now or get hold of me.
Thank you.
Yeah. Big improvement.
Anybody else? Go ahead, Ron.
I'll just take a minute because we were talking about the lithium battery storage thing, and just so that we all understand who the beneficiaries of those are. It's not really designed to supply power during power outages. The beneficiary is the grid, like National Grid has fluctuating demands and input from alternate energy sources, and they have to, normally if the demand increases, they have to ramp up production at a natural gas plant or whatever it is. And so with lithium, with battery storage, they can it's kind of like a flywheel. It helps them level out the demand. And so it doesn't really benefit us locally other than perhaps as a property tax thing, but because of our lack of proximity to fire places, there's a lot better places to put those. So it's not really a local benefit per se.
Thanks, Ron. Got a little background in science there, huh?
Just a little bit.
Robin, I think your hand was up.
It was.
Go ahead.
Robin Hill, Living ADK. Just a reminder, May 16th at the North Street parking lot, we have a shredding company coming up. So bring all your shredding, 10 a.m. to noon. It's free. Please come up, take advantage of it. We received this year so far another $14,000 between the Cloud Splitter Foundation and the Generous Acts Adirondack Community Foundation grant round to help support our senior delivered lunch program. So yay, we keep it going. And our new community resource navigator, Miriam, is going to be 25 to 30 hours a week starting at the end of April. Again, that's a result of a $150,000 grant over a 3-year period of time that we were able to get to benefit our expanded communities, which is basically the town of Webb school district. So she's been doing a great job, and we really look forward to having her more hours at the end of the month.
And thank you for all the help through all the stuff we've been working on too, with the grants and things that Living ADK was an administrator for and whatnot. The information you provided was super helpful. Anybody else? Steve?
Steve Hoffel. At last month's meeting, Don Simons brought up about the RS district, and as you all know, I've been very boisterous over the short-term rental stuff over the years. So a lot of people come to me, when they saw that law go into effect, and they didn't realize that it was just one small district. A lot of people thought it was the whole town. And I know the attitude is sort of, well, it's Hollywood Hills and this and that. But you got to also consider too, is we got a lot of very wealthy people that have houses up in those areas, and we don't want to lose them either, because you get these management companies that buy up properties and turn them properties into short-term rentals. Do these people want that happening next to their multi-million-dollar home? So we sort of have to sit this whole thing through, because like the old saying, too many chiefs and not enough Indians. Well, too many rentals and not enough residents is the same thing. I mean, so you might want to beg the board to think and consider also these other areas are putting some caps, because right now the sky's the limit. I mean, all Hollywood Hills could be turned into a massive hotel, and there are people that live there. Don Simon's the first example, that he's concerned what's gonna happen to houses around him, and is he gonna wanna live here when his neighborhood's just a big rental? And it's, you're on vacation, so they're partying, you know?
So I've got something on that. When I got on the board 4 years ago now, that short-term rental law, Barb Green, Kurt, Bonnie and I were on, that was our first year. Mike was a part of this. It was on what, draft 11, 12? It was a lot to put the law in. And reaching out to some other towns and communities, it was like, get that thing going, get it registered, get your codes office up and running so they can figure out how they're going to do registration, how they're going to enforce. They've done an amazing job. Andy Getty started it. Jay's doing a great job taking over. And we are at a great point to get people registered, and we started the short-term rental law. Just recently, we put in 10% cap in the residential village zone. It was never town-wide, just for the record, when we discussed that. So it's not
A lot of people thought it was.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
I can't. It was, but I'm saying when we spoke to it, it was never brought up as townwide. I just want to make that clear. I understand people might have.
Just Hamlet?
Yes, just the-
Residential village.
Just the Hamlet.
Not even that.
Residential village, the only ones.
It's residential.
Okay.
So there's a zone RV residential village. That's the only ones they are. So then, fast forward to this year, we've already, amended that short-term rental law again to try and address more issues, and that was in reference to the ADUs. So as those are going to get more popular now, I think there will be discussions moving forward on what the next step is, or if it's necessary, or what the board feels. I mean, I don't want to speak for anybody on that, but I think all of the short-term rental, they're being mitigated and ongoingly addressed, I guess.
One of the things that Andy had in the original law that was removed was a 7-day minimum. Okay, and that will take the profitability out of the people that are buying residents up for the sole businesses of running as a business.
Mm-hmm.
That'll take the profitability out of those properties, and then they're going to reevaluate what they're doing. And there are communities, big name communities, that have put the exact same thing in place, and it's going to the New York Supreme Court. And the New York Supreme Court backed the towns.
I want to ask you a question.
Yep.
How long have you been fighting the short-term rentals up here?
Since 2018, when Cooperstown enacted theirs.
But before that, that was the first time you started to bring it up. We need a law, 2018.
Yep.
Right. And I would say in the last, our law was put in 3 years ago.
Yeah, around.
Two. Three. So we're clearly addressing it. We're clearly trying to figure out what makes the most sense for us as a community, being a tourist town, and also having the care, and desire for young families to be able to live here year round. I don't want to say we're going to put all these new policies in, but I think the best way to do it moving forward now with the stuff that we did do. Jay's office, bring something to the table. Hey, we got a mess over here in RS zone now, or hey, if we did it townwide, the work they're doing over there right now, the information they're providing in that codes office is helpful to figure out where the direction should go.
Mm-hmm. Most of what I'm saying is let's not have what we had since 2018 when I brought it up, taking so many years for something to happen. Let's keep after it to make sure we stay ahead of the curve.
Get on it.
Okay?
Thank you, Steve.
That we aren't in the same boat that we are now, trying to play catch up.
I think our board's pretty, we're in, we talk about it, it comes up, and we address it as it comes. So we'll continue that. Anybody else? Linda?
Hi, I'm Linda from the library. I have lots of library news I won't share with you now, but I do want to remind everybody that there's a fabulous lunch at our neighbor, Nichols Church. Tomorrow it's the last loaves and fishes lunch of the season. It's turkey and mashed potatoes, stuffing and gravy. There's a vegan option, and there's always some good dessert. The food is always good, but the company is better. Like Tina alluded to, we all live here. It is nice to take a moment, especially in April before things kick off, and just join your neighbors and be able to sit down and eat and chat. So that's tomorrow. Good,
Last one.
short notice, yeah. That's all I got.
Thanks, Linda. Mark?
Mark Mayer, Big Moose Lakeside, formerly Big Moose Inn. I just wanted to add to what Mike and Ben were saying earlier about the Snowmobile Committee that met last month. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for bringing the two towns together and suggesting that we talk things through after season and how we can improve the conditions and the welcoming of our winter guests here for that most popular sport. And thank you for allowing myself and other business owners to participate in that. It was a really good meeting.
Hey, we did that March 10th, and you guys met already, and you probably have plans for another meeting, right? Or did you mention something earlier about
Yeah, and I just wanted to remind, I know there was talk about also, Adele, you had talked about coming up with a map.
Yes.
Our own proprietary map for the trail
Yes.
system.
Yes.
I'm still interested in assisting with that if you need my help.
Great stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark. Anybody else?
I'll go last.
Barb?
I just want. I was waiting to make sure everybody was done. I just want to say thank you. The energy from you guys tonight is just fabulous, and all the positive stuff that you got going on. Thank you for all the things that you're doing. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Barb. Thank you, Barb.
Second.
I do got to make a motion to, if nobody else has anything, enter into executive session to discuss land acquisition opportunities.
On that note.
Great.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. What's We are out of executive session. No action was taken. Motion to pay the audited claims.
I'll make that motion.
Kyle? Second?
I'll second it.
Mike? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion to adjourn. Let's do it.
You're making a
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
Mike? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, everybody.